Once you have added your dual camera system, it can also be used to further improve the accuracy of your turning movement counts. By configuring your TMCs on both cameras, you improve your accuracy by using the camera best suited to tracking each movement. To begin, select the detection application from the application navigation on the left-hand side. Search for and select the intersection in the search panel. This will load a configuration page for your intersection. To create a new configuration, click Create New and then Create New Configuration. You can switch between cameras by clicking between the camera tabs. To begin, you will need to configure the SmartView 360. For full steps, please see the SmartView 360 configuration video on training.miovision.com. To configure your TMC, now click on Turning Movement Counts. To outline the intersection, drag the blue points so that the blue lines run down the middle of each crosswalk, then click Continue. To adjust entrances and exits, drag the green dots to the edge of each entry approach to indicate where vehicles are entering the intersection, and then do the same with the red dots at the edge of each exit approach to indicate where they are exiting the intersection. This will limit where movement lines can be configured. Then click Continue. This now allows you to configure your movements. This will show you one approach at a time and allow you to use the dots to adjust the entry, exit, and path of each movement. To add additional movements to configure each individual lane, you can copy a movement. For highest accuracy counts, we recommend always adding a movement for each lane in the approach. You can then rename movements by clicking on the movement name on the right-hand side. This allows you to differentiate lane-specific movements in your reports. For example, westbound through 1 and westbound through 2. Movements with the same entrance and exit direction that have not been renamed will sum together in your reports. If there are additional movements that need to be added to your intersection, click on New Movement. You can also delete any movements that don't exist or that are not required for your intersection. Once your movements are correctly configured, click on Done. Now it is time to configure your second camera. Click on the second tab and configure the SmartView 360. Now select Turning Movement Count. Again, you will drag the blue points so that the blue lines run down the middle of each crosswalk and click Continue. Then drag the green dots to the edge of each entry approach and the red dots to the edge of each exit approach. When you click Continue, the movements will automatically be populated from your first camera configuration. Slight adjustments to the entry and exit points may be needed in order to ensure the track matches the path of most vehicles making this movement. Any adjustments made to the movement paths will not affect your other camera configuration. Once the movements are aligned, click Done. This will bring you back to your initial screen with an additional button for TMC camera assignment. This step allows you to assign specific movements to each camera. The movement assignment will be automatically selected by default based on the proximity to the camera. You may wish to switch the camera being used for a particular movement. This could be due to an obstruction that blocks a particular movement on the camera. To do this, turn off the Auto Select toggle and click on the camera name to select a different camera. When this is complete, click Finish. If you wish to edit your configurations, please note that removing approaches or movements will affect both cameras. You will receive a pop-up notification confirming this before changes are made. If you add an additional movement, you will also receive a pop-up letting you know that your new movement will need to be reviewed on the other camera. This will take you back to your main page where you will see an alert on turning movement counts. Click on Turning Movement Counts and click through the steps until you see the Movement tabs. Any approaches that have movements that need verification will be indicated. Review the new movements and make any necessary adjustments. This is also an opportunity to verify your movements using your track overlay to match as closely as possible. When you have reviewed your movements, click Done. If you want to wait to deploy the new configuration, click Save Draft. As with detection, only one draft can be saved, so if a new draft is started, your saved draft will be discarded. If you're ready to deploy your new configuration, click Deploy. If you want to discard your changes, click Discard Changes. A few hours after a new configuration is deployed, vehicle track paths will be available showing a heat map of the paths most commonly traveled. We recommend adjusting your configuration to match these paths as closely as possible once they become available.